Hey, welcome. Uh, Lots of stuff going on today. A lot of layoffs that we're talking about, but that's not the best part. There's a lot of other things that are happening. First and foremost, tomorrow is the Marine Corps birthday. Happy birthday, Marines. I'm not going to sing the theme or anything, but you know it. You know exactly what that means. A lot of craziness, a lot of fun, a lot of celebrating, a lot of memories going to be made tomorrow. And there are actually a lot of them were made this last weekend too. But here's one I want to share with you that just tickled me. That was hilarious. Uh, so funny. I mean, think about it, dude. This is the oldest weapon that's authorized in the Marine Corps today. It's the NCO sword. I have one. It's in the back over here. And it's one of the things, the Marine NCO is the only enlisted personnel allowed to carry a sword. And that's it right there. That's what happens when Marines have fun. So all week I've been sending out little funny memes and stuff like that. Tomorrow is a great day, 247 years, Semper Fi. All right, enough of that. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, and if you hang on till the end, I'm going to have a little walkthrough of what freebies are around for veterans. So there you go. That'll be fun. Let's see. Let's get back to what we're talking about here. Actually, I didn't even show it to you. Let me show this to you real quick. There you go. That NCO sword right there. That's what I was talking about. That's the oldest weapon authorized in the Marine Corps today. So there you go. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. We already talked about that. Everybody that sent in their information, their request or their vote on the thumbnails, thank you very much. I want to bring them up. Let me see if I can find them real quick. That was one of them. That was two of them. That was three of them. And now, the kitchen sink, which I thought was newsworthy or noteworthy, at least because of, what Elon Musk said. I thought that was kind of funny, but nobody liked it. Nobody wanted the kitchen sink. So we went with this one. This is why we did it. But your voices were heard. Thank you for voting, and I appreciate it. There you go. Shut that down. Have some fun with it later. All right. Let's talk about now. Where is it? I think it's this one right here. It's a new one I'm using. It's a little more accurate. It's not as. It's more news outlet, not branded by a company. Obviously, it's a news outlet, so they they sell advertising. But this one's a little more accurate, and I like this graph a little bit better. It's a lot easier for me to work with. So 7.21 today. That has a lot to do with what's going on, slowing down the economy, slowing down housing market, slowing down a lot of things. But at the same time, it's something we need to have happen. And if you look at some of the highlights that I have in the news, I'm going to put this little thing on real quick. All right. So you're like, Vito, layoffs aren't happening. The news is telling me that we have tons of job openings. Well, everybody I talk to right now, and I don't care what industry you're in, a lot of different industries right now are seeing a slowdown, and it's end of year. End of year means that corporations have to do their end of year reporting, and that means there's going to be layoffs there too. But also, those job openings don't necessarily mean that jobs are going to get filled. So let's just take Cisco, and I don't want to beat up on Cisco because I like them. They might have 1,000 job recs open throughout the year, and it's probably more. But each individual department might have that allotment so that they can look for the cream of the crop, right? They're looking for their people. the right people for that job. And it's not saying that they're not hiring people, but a lot of those job openings that you're seeing here on this, actually, this is a great news source. If you're in real estate at all, watch these guys. They're straightforward. They're kind of Chicken Little versus Pollyanna, but they give it to you straight, right? 10 million job openings. They're not going to get filled. Probably half of them are not going to get filled by the end of the year, right? One, people don't want to work because the government pays them to stay at home. Companies are contracting because their revenues aren't coming in, their earnings aren't coming in, and it's just a part of a cycle, right? It's not forever. It's just for the next 3 to 6 months, right? And whatever happened in the vote yesterday, if you didn't vote, shame on you. I don't care what side of the aisle you sit on, vote, right? I voted. A lot of people I know voted, so good for you. There are layoffs coming on mass, right? And it's not just Meta, not just, Twitter or whatever. It's going to be a lot of different companies. Our company's tightening up too, right? Even so much so that Open Doors laying off 18%, right? That's a competitor of ours. They buy houses. They tell you there's no commission, but then they swap you with fees, which are 10% versus 6%. Where's the other one? This just in. Redfin just announced 13% of their people going down. And the iBuyer thing is shutting down. Open Door showed that there were it wasn't a failure, but Zillow did it and they closed up. Open Door did it and now they're closing up. And now Redfin's doing it, did it, and they shut their doors on the iBuyer platform. Goes to show that in order for them to compete, they have to buy their houses at market. So if it's worth $1 million, they're not going to buy it they have to buy it at $1 million, right? And their gamble is that in 3 to 6 months, it's going to increase in equity because the market goes up, which hasn't happened in the last 6 months. But when the market goes up, you are going to see, home values go up, and then they can turn around and sell it for a little bit of a profit, and it helps everybody along. Well, that's going away because the market's flattening out in certain areas and market's contracting in certain areas, and it just doesn't make sense. We didn't see a lot of this happening. I saw one in Gilroy. I saw a few up in the greater Bay Area, but not in San Jose or Santa Clara County on the whole. There were a few, just not a bunch, because it just didn't make sense for them to spend that kind of money and risk the market contracting like it is doing right now. So that said, if you work for Redfin and you know you're getting laid off, give me a call. I will hire you in a heartbeat. Right? That's how we work. We take care of our own. I understand you work for the bad guy, but you know what? All's fair in love and war. Come and work for the good guys now. Okay. Enough of that. I think we talked about this a little bit last week. The eviction moratorium in LA County is now I think they just retracted it. That means there's going to be a lot more people that were landlords saying, you know what, I'm done with this. I just spent 2 years trying to figure out how to make this thing work. I had renters that refused to pay. Now I'm going to get rid of them. It's going to cost me, I don't know, $30,000, $40,000 to get rid of them. And shame on you if you were one of those deadbeat landlords, because these people are now going to turn around and sell their house or that apartment or that condo or whatever it is. It put people into a bad position, and it's all because of policymakers. So shame on the policymakers and shame on the bad landlords. It's the same thing. Oh yeah, congratulations, Open Door, for that's why they closed there. They lost $1 billion. $1 billion. $1 $1 billion in one quarter. They lost $1 billion. They're a publicly traded company. It was a bad hit. It's not going to put them under, but that's not a business model, right? You have to sell houses and make equity or make commissions so you can pay your people. And yes, it sucks that you have to pay people more money, but there's always going to be those 1%er guys out there, and they're going to do kind of a half-assed job. You can go with them, absolutely. But if you want somebody that's going to work with you and walk you through the entire process, work with companies like Compass and Century 21 and Remax. I don't know about this. If anybody knows more about this, I heard this somewhere and I didn't link it, and I apologize. But if you're seeing this where China is losing ground to manufacturers because they're taking the IP, right? It's known. It's a known factor. When you bring manufacturing over to China, they're going to take your technology and copy it. And now more people are going to different places. And now that we're having this issue, I guess politically with China, we have to figure out where you're going to get your manufacturing done, right? And I've been telling people this for, 30 years, move out of China, or at least have a secondary manufacturing place. And a lot of people are like, nah, we don't do it. We have great relationships with our people. But then, there you go. Tomorrow is not only my Marine Corps' birthday, but yeah, it's also the CPI announcement. And I'm guessing 10%, probably way off. A lot of my mentors are saying 6, 7, maybe even 8, but I think it's a lot worse than that. And I'm 99.9% certain that I'm wrong. It's going to be less than that. But if it comes to 10, I'll be like, told you so. So you probably can't hear this, and I don't want you hearing it. This is a National Rural Estate Post. I already told you about these guys over here. This is their website. I listen to them all the time. And this keeps coming up, right? So I thought I'd take a look a little bit more about it. California, the aquifers. In this particular video, Brian talks about Central Valley actually lowering in elevation by 10 feet because of the aquifers drying up. And that's scary to me. I don't know how accurate that is, but I went and dug around, and here's a PBS, and they're a little left side of center and more center, but it's something for you to be aware of, right? And Brian in this video talks about Kalinga. And if you know, Kalinga used to be Coaling Station A, and it became a town. Now there's like 28,000 people, maybe 50,000 people that live there. But, and the average income per capita is $28,000. So it's not a really well-to-do area in the first place. And because of this water issue that we're having, they're having to go out and buy water. And back in June, before June, they were buying water. And I don't know, I want to say it like per 1,000 gallons or whatever. They're paying $220. Now it's $1,200, and it's actually going back down because obviously we've had rain in the last couple of days, and we were forecasting that, so the value of water went down. But $1,200 per whatever unit, that's like 5-6 times more than what they were paying before. That's crazy for a small little, not very well-to-do city. And then you have to go out and buy $1.1 million worth of water to water your people. That's an issue, right? So there's going to be like a mass exodus out of Kalinga because people can't afford to live there because of the water. And it's the same thing here. Just do some of your own work, figure out what's going on here. Also, if you're watching and you have comments, by all means, if you think that I'm full of crap, let me know. If you think I'm spot on, or if you have another opinion, please let me know. I'm happy to bring you on as well. So this was for Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo's bracing for layoffs. Again, I think this is two of the same. Again, this is what we set up here, right? job openings versus hiring, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are. If you're trying to hire people right now, it's probably not a good thing, because your business is not going to do as well in the next 3 to 6 months, technically, because you see the market contracting, you see your sales slowing, you see commodity sales slowing, right? So why is this important, and why am I bringing this up? Well, part of the reasons why we want to keep track of this is not to scare people, is to get you prepared and get you in the right mindset to be able to buy houses. Because now is a good time to buy, right? Now, why wouldn't you buy a house? Because you fear job loss. If you have a job and you've been there for 5 to 20 years, you're like, holy crap, they're talking about layoffs again. You're not going to buy a house, right? Even though the market's flat. Where am I? I want to bring this back up here real quick. Even though the market's flattening out, kind of threatening to go down, this is a great time to buy. But you might have bad credit or high debt or whatever. By the way, we have a program that we're putting together that talks about financial intelligence, right? It's talking about living below your means, building credit, building savings, putting money towards investing in the future, buying houses, investing, that kind of thing. And it's a big program where we bring in a lot of professional services to talk about it and teach people how to get ready for their future and build a legacy for their family. If you want to learn more, let me know. I will just text me, DM me, whatever. I'll respond to you. But here's the biggest thing right now, threatening people, right? And I know we don't know which way we're going to be headed into this next, after the elections, right? Red, blue, whatever. It doesn't matter, because we have to fight. We have to fight this inflation that's happened over the last 2 years. That's a big, huge issue. We just spent, I want to say, $16 for deli meat. That's ridiculous. It used to be $5, $6. Now it's that one. I thought that was crazy. So got to beat this inflation. The big fear, though, now is deflation. There's a lot of talk about that, and we're talking about that next week. But right now, oh yeah, here's another reason why you might not want it. You want to time the market, right? You want to time the market where it's right at the bottom of the market. Yeah, so do I. Everybody does, right? And when it's like this, you have so much competition, right? I don't know if you saw my last video. It was one house for 17 buyers. That was what it was like all the way up until April, and now it's 17 houses for every buyer. So there's so much supply. There's so many people being picky. I was in my office meeting yesterday, and everybody's like, I have buyer needs. And I'm like, why aren't you going out to the MLS and seeing those homes? And they say, well, we already have. They don't want those homes. They want something else. So they're being picky. That was the exact opposite of what was happening back in April and before, right? They're like, I'm desperate to buy a house. I don't care if it's going to fall over tomorrow. I need to buy a house. Now people are like, you know what? I'm taking my time. I'm going to buy the house that I want. And I'm going to be very, 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 very picky about what I buy. And I'm not going to pay what they're asking for, which is where we're going to go to next, right? So we're right here. If you're in a position to buy, this is a good time to buy. And you're like, Vito, I should wait until the market collapses. Right. But then you're competing against right now, right? Once the market starts crashing, then the buyers come back into the market. Then you have one house for 17 buyers again. And then the seller has the leverage. So there's a good time to buy, which is like right now, right at the peak. And if you can time it right here, right when the market shakes, there is less competition, but you don't know when that's actually going to happen because it's very volatile. All right. Mortgage demand is nearly half of what it is a year ago. Guys, so is sales, right? Where is it? Closes this last week. closes last year, last week, right? I mean, basic math right there. It's about half. This is the last week. This is the last 7 days. We had 57 closes. Last year, same 7 days, we had 129 closes. Roughly half. Absolutely half, right? That's these numbers right here. These are the averages. It's not news. It's just something we need to talk about. And again, if you look at the volume of houses sold over the last 20 years, 57, 60, 75, 95, that was averaged about 2-3 years ago. That was about the average of homes being sold the last couple of years. The last year was a massive anomaly. Go back to this number right here. Remember when the houses spiked up because the price of money was artificially low, so low in fact that it was foolish for people not to buy houses. Zero cost of money, right? 2.5%. People were getting houses at 2.5%. So just brace yourself for a long winter. I've heard people saying that, well, we're going to see rates go back down to 4.5%, 5%. I would love that to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Sorry I have to do that to you, but you know, this is the segment where we talk about numbers, and I'm the number nerd. So supply is dwindling, right? What we're having right now is, yes, houses are selling, but not at the same clip that we were having last year. But people are choosing to take houses off market or not put it on market. Houses are still going on market, not at the same clip that we were seeing last year, right? But we're still seeing houses go into contract. As a matter of fact, we had 52 pendings last week. That's San Jose, not Santa Clara County. This is San Jose, right? This is all just San Jose, 3 bedrooms and more, less than $2 million. I don't track anything else. Last year, list price to sales price ratio was 9% over. This one actually was skewed. I want to show this to you. Some knucklehead. Where is it? Oh, right here. No, that's not it. Some knucklehead listed it so low, it was stupid. There, right there, 120%. 700,000 right there, 159%. That totally skews it, right? So you got to take that number out. We still have a lot of houses getting sold for over list price. But understand that this is really what the market value is. They're just the agents putting it down to this level, this price, to attract multiple offers so you can pop it up to the market and get it sold quickly, right? Based on its condition. So $700,000, and within 26 days, it sold for $1.1111 million. It wasn't worth $700,000. It was worth $1.1 million. 159% over original list price, but that's not what the market was saying. This is what the market is saying, right? Oh, I want to show you this number again. 33% of homes sold in San Jose last week sold over list price. So 2/3 are at or below, actually below 100%. This is at or 100% or over. So 33%. Last week was 49%, right? Okay, so these numbers are skewed because really it shouldn't be 158%. That's ridiculous. Okay. I mean, it does sell the house. I get it. But you're not really doing anything to help them make sure that you're getting the right people. So average sales price is 1.5. The median sales price is 1.375. So median meaning houses are selling for a little bit less, even though there's more houses that sell for, there's a few more houses that sell for more. That skews it up. Last year, the average sales price was 1.6. So don't freak out when you look at these two numbers and compare it, because this is the running average over the last 6 months or so, right? It's only 20,000 difference. This shows that it's over $100,000 difference in 1 week over year. That's totally different, right? We're down 44%, 53% over last year, right? That's what Wells Fargo said about loans. Well, no crap, right? The refi market has dried up. If you didn't refinance at 2.5 or 3%, well, then you're going to wait, and you're stuck at the rate that you had. So those are out the door. A lot of people are sitting on the fence, so those people are out the door. You have people that are seriously buying right now, right? You have 52 people buying houses in San Jose versus 129 from last year. So those people are serious, right? Prices are contracting a little bit. If you look at these numbers, you're seeing that they actually are going down quite a bit. And you look at these numbers overall, they are going down quite a bit, but not hugely. And you're going to ask me, well, Vito, do you think the values of houses are going to go down? I don't know. I think we're going to be in a dark rut for about 3-6 months, and then it's going to come right back. So when you look at these numbers, I think we're like right here, and we're at a point where it's just going to continue to go off. So I think the layoffs are going to be temporary. The rates are temporary right now. And once rates come back down, you're going to see the market be reinvigorated. Cancellations have just dwindled down to nothing. But I think what's happening is there's less people putting houses on market, less people doing wish pricing. So on average, we're still seeing 35 cancellations per week. TFTs, that's back on market. They're canceling the contract. And this is a running total of 171. I'm not doing it by week. This is a running total, right? So last week to this week, we've had 40 decreases. All right. And then this is the US numbers, right? Half of them have decreased in supply. Houses are selling. Less people are putting houses on market. Natural attrition. That's what you're seeing right now. You don't see it dwindling like a massive delve down. All these numbers are very small. Whenever you see these numbers, they're less than 100 for the most part, right? So not everybody is going away and saying, I'm done, but there's a lot less houses being sold, about half, right? So the market's staying where it is. The supply is kind of starting to dwindle, just like what we're seeing here in San Jose, right? We're seeing the market kind of dwindle, and houses are still being sold. So if you're serious, think about it. I'm not telling you you absolutely should. If it makes sense, if you're getting evicted from a house, call me. I have programs that are available. I'll bring in my lenders, and we'll figure out if we can get you into a house. I'll put that down. All right. That's it for this week. Again, stand by if you want to listen to me look at all the freebies for the veterans. I'm Vito Scarnecchio with the Abitano Group, powered by Compass. We'll see you out there. Semper Fi. Happy birthday. Arrivederci. All right. Let's go into something else here. People are actually hanging on. Wow. That's cool. Isn't that great? It's so great. Look at this. This was what my buddy Mark said. That cake looks like it's a real person. It's beautiful. Okay. Here we go. All right. Let's see if I'm going to put this back real quick because I want to see what these people are saying, if I'm getting any other comments. All righty. First of all, thank you for serving. I did 87 and 99. Marines, mostly reserve. I was 0341. Right? There you go, 0341. Part of the reason why I'm doing it so early today is because I have a veterans thing at San Jose State, and we do support the VSO over there. I know the people very well, and we're just going to go out there and hand out tchotchkes and shake hands and, talk to them about different programs. So there's a bunch of different programs. You can go to NBC Bay Area, see California. I'm not doing anything that anybody else isn't doing, living on the cheap, right? Patch. You can just free stuff for veterans, San Jose, California, right? So Applebee's, Ahi Pokey. There's one right down the street from me, Ahi Pokey. There's Applebee's, which I don't really care for because every time I eat there, I get the stomach issues. Aroma Joe's, never heard of it. Black Angus, Brugger's, Chick-fil-A, Chili's. Ooh, dude, I should go to Chick-fil-A. I mean, Chili's. All right. Denny's, obviously, but, again, that's like Applebee's. It just works my stomach over. Famous Dave's. I don't think we have one here. Do we actually have one? Hard Rock Cafe. Yeah, I'm not going to go to San Francisco. I don't think we have a Hooters. IHOP. There's a IHOP. There was an IHOP. A couple of them. They're gone, I guess. IKEA. A free adult entree. You get free Swedish meatballs. Joe's Crab Shack. You get 20% off. That's cool. Krispy Kreme. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Krispy. I'm a huge donut fan, but not Krispy Kreme. Macaroni Grill. That's, Macaroni Grill actually started here in Cupertino by a company, a restaurant called Florentinos. Florentinos grew to like 3 different restaurants within the Bay Area, and then they franchised their menu and called it the Macaroni Grill. Little factoid. There you go. Mission Barbecue, Outback Steakhouse, Red Lobster. I don't think I've ever been to a Red Lobster. I know. That's almost communist. Starbucks and Wendy's. Let's see, what can you get at Wendy's other than a free finger? Free breakfast combo. All right. Well, there you go. All right. What else can you do? Bay Area. Adidas. 30% offline. Wow. I wear Adidas. Did you know that? I'm not going to say it. American Girl. Yeah. Applebee's. I have a niece up in Canada who lives in Burnaby who used to be a model for one of the little girls. When she was a little girl, she hold the little thing. She was one of the models. That was pretty cool. Bed Bath & Beyond, BJ's. Oh, right down the street. Buffalo, right there. Yeah, there you go. California. Yeah. Just CPK, man. When I was in publishing, when I first got into publishing, I got flown out to Garden City, New York, not like a famous place like, Manhattan. I worked for Hearst magazine, and I worked for this little pimple on the butt of Hearst, and it was this little company. It was all about electronics, and they took me out to Garden City, which, by the way, has a Marine Center there, Marine Reserve Center, right across the street from the office I was at. And the president of the company takes me out to lunch, and he takes me to a California pizza kitchen because he thinks it's funny that he takes me all the way out to New York to make me eat California food. Should have quit right there. Chili's. Oh, Comcast. Right on. Denny's, Devil Dog Dungarees. I don't even know what the hell that is. Dollar General. What? No kidding. Oh, it has to be in store or online. You get 20% off. So that really brings it back down to $1 because everything's $1.25 now. Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, Fogo de Chao. That's cool. Yeah. because we all need skibbies. Golden Corral, Hooters, HP, oh, Hunter Fan, IHOP, iRobot, Kohl's. Boy, you guys and gals. Applebee's, look at that big old thing. Denny's, Olive Garden, everybody does it. All the franchises do it, right? Long Beach. I'm not going to go to Long Beach for a free thing. BJ's. I'll probably wind up going to BJ's because it's like right down the street. You know what's funny is like Mimi's Cafe closed down. So that's not even available anymore. These are old. All right. Well, there you go. 7-Eleven. Oh, you get a free quarter-pound big bite. It's worse than the Chow Hall. Arby's, Aroma Joe's, Big Daddy, Bartaco. There you go. All right, guys. If you have any thoughts, one cool thing, a little story. My daughter just started doing band this year. Let me see if I can clock out of this one. And the first competition they did, where is it? There you are. And the first competition they did was up in San Francisco during Fleet Week, which was cool, right? And my wife's like, hey, you better get your ass up there and help out because there's a bunch of Marines. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go up there, see my buddies and all that. And it was cool. We went to like Golden Gate Park, and there's this big place where the museums are, and this big amphitheater and a big, concert area. And the Marine band were there, and they were playing. They were playing the brass. They were playing some jazz. It was really, really fun, really cool. There's a bunch of recruiters hanging out. They're modified Charlies, chilling out with their big covers. And I'm just like shaking hands. I had my my camouflage rain gear on and stuff that's not even used anymore because it's all old and cracking. So I'm like, hey. You just get motivated, right? You get really motivated. You're like, man, I'd go back in a heartbeat. Start talking to this one recruiter. He goes, how long were you in? And how old are you right now? And he's like doing this little calculation. He goes, yeah, no, you're too old. Oh, man. So that was my last story. They don't want me anymore. And I know a couple of guys that went from Marines to Army. I don't think I'd ever do that. I don't think I could ever do that. So anyway, tomorrow, happy Marine Corps birthday. And on the 11th, happy Veterans Day. We'll see you out there.